He's not afraid to ask about people's scrap piles. Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. We're going to get a bit more weeding done outside. Scarlett's started helping me weed another bed in the raised bed garden where I decided I'm going to sow another bed of carrots. I'm still tossing up whether what I'm going to do with one of the rows in the front plot. Yesterday Steve came home and then he said to Angus, "Do you want to help me unload the building supplies?" And we all went, "What?" He went off outside and we all put down our afternoon tea and went outside to see what treasures he had brought home. He's quite good at acquiring things. He got a bunch of timber, which is really cool. Most of it's quite thick as well, so that'll be quite handy, especially with building Angus's the kids' cabin. The place he was doing a job at, there was a pile that looked kind of like scrap, and so he asked about it and the guy said, "Yeah, that's just stuff we're throwing out, help yourself to whatever you want." So he got a bunch of good stuff, so yeah. It's quite funny. I think it's really cool that he's good at finding free stuff and that he's not afraid to ask about people's scrap piles. So here's what Steve got. Where shall I start? So there's quite a big piece here, which I thought would be really cool to make a seat. It's quite a nice wide piece. Nice seat width. So I'll think about that. I'm going to have some discussions about who gets what. Some of it's dressed like that, and some of it's just rough sawn. So there's another wide piece there, but that's a shorter bit. See, some of this is treated. That says H1.2. I don't know what the other stuff is, but you can tell the pink stuff has been treated, so that could be handy for Angus's cabin building anyway. And there's another nice big wide bit. Oh, there are two big wide ones. Yes, long and wide. And then we've got all this stuff here too, so mixture of all sorts of bits and pieces, but yeah, most of them are quite thick, like 50 millimetres thick. A couple of smaller bits. Yeah, a couple of them have got nails in, but definitely lots of handy things there that we can use. You got that one, okay, good. Let's go. This is the bed we're working on at the moment. So this had a whole bunch of pak choi that it was flowering and going to seed, which we pulled out. Oops, it's got one left over there. It's got a collapsed parsley, which has gone to seed, so that needs to come out. Yep, that's a weed. And there was a big old calendula here, which was getting all brown and crusty at the bottom from last season, so that had to come out. But there are calendula seedlings all in there, so I'm actually going to work on transplanting those into different corners around the garden as well. Whatever we don't transplant is going to have to come out, and get the rest of these weeds out. Some of the carrots have come up, so that's good, along with some weeds. Look at those little babies. Yay! We actually had a bunch of rain, not last night, but the night before. There was I think there was a heavy rain watch and a severe thunderstorm watch. So, but we could have copped it. It's, the isolated thunderstorm, so you never know if you're going to get anything or not much. But we must have gotten a decent amount of rain. There was 20 or 20 something millimetres in the rain gauge, but we didn't empty it beforehand, so I'm not sure how much of that was from the one night. But it was a decent amount, which is good for the garden because we hadn't had much. And now it's warm and sunny again, so we are back outside. Have you ever seen anything so big? Perpetual spinach beets. It's got 2 big branches and it's tall. Where are your clothes? The noise is getting worse.
go over that side and reach those little ones there. See them? Stay on the path if you can. Hey Sash, did you get its root?
I get it too.
You got the root. Oopsies. Good. Good. More stones. This is not great. Oh well, whatever survives will survive.
I'm not sure how much. Oh no. Okay, everyone's doing, this is what happens when daylight saving starts and the weather gets warm. Everyone's working on outside stuff, which is actually good. Good that people are busy getting things done. It's just hard to talk. I've gone through with the hoe and just roughed up the surface to get any little weeds, and went through and tried to get most of the big bits. There were some stones in there and bigger bits of bark and things, which I've put in other parts of the garden because we need to try and get a fine tilth for the carrots. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, partly because the seeds are so tiny and you don't want them to get stuck under chunks where they're not going to be able to grow and get through to the light, and mostly because you don't want to end up with forked carrots because they're a root crop. If they hit a stone or piece of bark or something under the ground, they will start growing a root in a different direction, or that root will get bent and start growing weird, and you don't end up with nice carrots. So this is why I usually plant carrots in the same bed, because this bed where we first planted the seeds is nice and sandy and loose already, so you don't have to do too much work. But it'll be interesting to see how the carrots will grow in this bed. So now I can get some seeds planted. Thankfully, I just remembered that I was going to sow some parsnip seeds as well. I haven't had parsnips I didn't do them last year. I can't remember if I did them the year before. I used to have them in this bed behind me where we've done the first lot of carrots. I would have some down the shady end by the garage down here. But they would always end up shading the carrots. It was hard, actually. That's the main reason why I stopped growing them in the raised beds. I just remembered some of them got really big and it was really hard to dig them out, like giant parsnips. So I think I need to make sure that I don't sow them too close to the edge, because then it's really hard to get them out by the side of the bed. And I need to make sure I harvest them before they get too big, so I have to be able to keep an eye on them. Otherwise, I suppose I could sow them in that row out the front. Actually, maybe I'll just sow a few down this end where the cabbages are. Actually, because one of the packets of seed has gotten a bit old, so I might just sow these ones in here and save my new packet for out the front, provided I remember to do that. check your food and water and grit. Oops, I dumped that last one. See if we've got enough food. And good morning, Gemma. Okay, ready?
He's so cute.
I've got a stream of hens going broody at the moment. The latest one is the feistypants, so I've got to put gloves on for her because she hurts. Most of the hens I've got at the moment who go broody are nice. Like I can just pick them up out of the nest box, which I do in the morning and in the evening just to try and break them out of the broodiness. But this particular one is a feistypants. She's probably... I've had one other chicken, Morpheus, who was real feisty, but she was actually a really good mum. So I kept her around for a while, but this one... Yeah, this one's just as feisty, possibly more. She pecks really swiftly and hard, so she draws blood if I don't have gloves on. So I need to cull a few more of my hens because we just have too many eggs. And she's a possibility just because she's hard to manage. Like if the kids are in there, especially Scarlet, I don't want her getting pecked by a really feisty hen. So we'll see. But the main thing I'm thinking about who to get rid of is ones who are laying eggs that are smaller or not as good quality as the others. But it's hard to figure out because I don't know who's laying what eggs at the moment. We're down to 13 hens and I basically need to start stalking them. I've just started trying to stalk them and figure out try to figure out at least some of who's laying what eggs so I can try and make some decisions. It is a beautiful morning this morning, blue sky and sun, nice and warm, well warming up after a cooler morning, but it is supposed to start raining maybe late morning or later, so we're trying to enjoy some time outside and get some things done outside while we can. Steve's making a new swing out of some of the timber from his find the other day. You're the flyers. What are you doing with those? You're on the new swing. What are you doing with the flyers though? Hey? Wow. And you could even sit on there with Angus too. Or a friend. You could have two people on there. Most of the way through. Yes! Good job, buddy. Good cutting. Look at that nice smooth cut. Ooh. Not much space for swinging, but the only decent place we can put it at the moment. I've still got to get the rest of my saved seed potatoes planted that are in the bag, sprouting like crazy. So let's have a look at the front. So here's our potato row here, where I planted potatoes, plus there are some, mostly covered by mulch at the moment, that had already sprouted, left over from last year in the dirt and starting to grow by themselves. But at the front we still had 4 purple sprouting broccolis. 3 of them have come out now because Angus said they'd finished flowering or he couldn't eat them anymore, but there's still one there, so we're going to have to take that one out. There's also a little one there. It's struggling. It's obviously that was probably one of the tui ones from last season that was really small and it's kind of stunted and probably shaded out by the others. I might just leave that there for now. I was going to plant the rest of my Agria seed potatoes in here, but there are actually sprouting potato volunteers in here already, which would be the other variety, the heritage variety Whataroa, which were in here last summer. So considering I've decided I want more potatoes to grow in that row, even though I didn't really like these ones that much, I might as well just leave them there, because at least, there's something. They're potatoes and they're already growing, so we'll get that big broccoli out and then just put some more of the leaf litter that we've got left on here and mulch it for these potatoes. I've keep changing my mind about what to do with this row. I'm not sure how well carrots would do, how well the seeds would do, I should say, in germinating and not getting buried in the large bits or scratched out by the birds, but we've still got kale down there. It'll still last for a while longer. And maybe I'll plant potatoes in front of the kale and then parsnips, because I want to do more parsnips and try them in the open ground. And then maybe I'll do carrots. And we'll see. I'm having one last snack. Mummy's going to pull that one out. And then we've still got some in the raised bed garden out the back. Man, it is getting hot out here, so I'm trying to hurry up and finish up. I've just made 2 little rows for some parsnips and 5 rows for some carrots. I'm not entirely sure how well they're going to do. Ideally, I'd put some seed raising mix down into these rows where I've brushed the mulch aside to help them germinate, but I'm not willing to put too much effort in because it'll probably just get scratched out by birds or blown around by the wind anyway, so we'll just sow some seeds and see how things turn out. done 3 rows of berlicum because that's the seed I have most of, and 2 rows of touchon carrots, and then some parsnips. I think I do have a couple of things I could cover them with in the shed. Thunder. Oh, it's slowing down. So we need to unblock the gutter. No. Just stay inside in the thunderstorm, baby. We went from glorious and sunny for most of the day to rain and thunderstorms later in the afternoon and evening, but I knew that was in the forecast, so that's why I was trying to get things done outside this morning. So that was good to get more carrot seeds in. Hopefully the heavy rain didn't disturb them too much. But at least they're watered in. Thanks for joining us. Choose to grow hope, and we'll see you next time. Bye.